Hello, everybody. I'm Tony Garitano, founder of Progress in Lending Association, and welcome to day number 3 of the 14th annual Engage event. I want to start by thanking our sponsors. First, I want to thank Blackfin Group. Blackfin Group is an umbrella of services and software products that specializes in the financial services industry. Blackfin is where national, regional, and community banks, credit unions, and independent mortgage bankers turn for trusted consulting experts, services, and insights. I'd also like to thank Tavant. Headquartered in Santa Clara, California, Tavant is a digital products and solutions company that provides impactful results to its customers across North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Founded in 2000, the company employs over 3,000 people and is a recognized top employer. Tavant has created an AI-powered intelligent lending enterprise by reimagining the customer experience, driving operational efficiencies, and improving collaboration. Now, I want to have some fun. I've assembled 4 industry experts to each share their predictions for 2025. This is going to be a great panel. I want to start off by introducing Eloise Schmitz. She's the CEO and co-founder at LoanNEX. Eloise, what do you think is going to happen in 2025?
First trend is there's still going to be a lot of shifting around of products with rates moving around. Refis will come back, not as robustly as they did before, but there will be a lot of refi activity. And we're going to continue to see a lot of interest in second lien products, a lot of the alt doc products. We're seeing some pickup in some of the foreign national products as well. So my biggest tip for 2025 is if you can't see it, you can't sell it. And that's what we talk about so much when we distribute the LoanNEX pricing engine. It is a great platform, whether you're a broker, an LO, secondary desk, to be able to see all the products that make sense for your borrowers and being able to see them in a way that is relevant to the circumstances that your borrower may be in. We pride ourselves on being incredibly intuitive, but more importantly, giving access to all the products that are available in the market and may be relevant to your borrowers. So for 2025, if you can't see it, you can't sell it. So make sure you've got technology and access to products that make it easy to sell to all borrowers. Thank you.
That's very interesting, Eloise. And great information, by the way, too. Now, I want to introduce Elena Gardner. She's the Director of Sales and Marketing at Lodestar. Elena, what are your thoughts about 2025?
In mortgage lending in 2025, I think we're really going to see a few things. One, I do think we're going to see an increase in refinances. I don't think that's a shock to anyone. Rates are coming down. So I think we're going to see a lot of people starting to refinance some of those higher cost mortgages. I also think that we're going to see a lot of home buyers that would think, oh, I'm just going to stay in this house forever, are finally going to realize that they're outgrowing their homes in one way or another. I've, have a few friends that have low interest mortgage rates, as well as our own CEO, Jim Paolino, actually is taking advantage of the lower interest rate market in purchasing the growth home, right? Which is a really common thing among households, right? So you have your starter home that you buy as a young couple, maybe with one kid or a child on the way. And then you see the second home being, I've had a couple kids, we need a little bit more space. For whatever reasons, we start to see people buy their second home a lot of times for that reason. So I do think we're going to see more of that in the coming year. So I think that makes me hopeful that maybe some of the starter home inventory will start to open up a little bit more. Myself, I'm looking to purchase a home in the next year. And so we've been looking at the market a lot. And with that in mind, we're starting to see a little bit more inventory in our area specifically. I'm in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. So just for transparency's sake, but it is a high demand market in our area. And that is something to be noted. I also think we're going to see lenders really start to look at their tech stacks as how they can save money, right? There's a lot of redundancies that kind of happened throughout 2020. And now with the merger and acquisition field that has kind of come to play with this downturn. A lot of lenders have multiple vendors doing one service. So I think we're going to see a lot of streamlining there, really making hard decisions on what vendors matter the most to them, as well as kind of having this internal battle of what vendor is going to win out, right? And we started to see that as well on our side, with mergers and acquisitions of clients and all of that. So I think that's something that we'll see as well. And then finally, I think we're going to start to see new technology vendors become more prominent within the space. So there is some conversations. There's a lot of AI conversations. I think we're going to start to see those downturn a little bit in 2025. I think a lot of the hype is kind of starting to fade away, and there's a little bit more cautious optimism about AI. We use it a lot in marketing and all of that. I personally use AI on a regular basis, but I am in marketing and sales. Right? We're not using AI on the back end as much. So I think there's a really great use case for AI. I don't know that we're quite there yet in a lot of areas of a business. So I think we're going to see a little bit harsh back on that, but we're also starting to see ourselves grow as well as some other vendors grow that may have not been primaries before. So we're really starting to see lenders look at who can be a true partner to them in the market. And I think that is what really matters at this point, is you need someone that will take a partner that will follow you through the downturns, that understands our industry and knows what's happening, right? So they can be a true partner to you, because this industry is cyclical. And while hopefully in 2025, we're seeing an upturn, right? We're hoping that we're on the upswing of that cycle. We know another downturn is coming. So we want to make sure that we protect ourselves in the future with real partners and real tech vendors that understand what the mortgage industry is. And here at Lodestar, something that we're really passionate about is our clients' wins, our wins. And we want to make sure that not only are we the vendor that's providing you that, we want to make sure every vendor is providing you that. And you're expecting that level of dedication to your vendors every single time.
That is great commentary, Elena. Now, I want to introduce one of our executive team members here at Progress in Lending, and someone that I'm sure all of you know, Delilah Ramos. She's the founder of Love and Tacos Media. Delilah, can you chime in about 2025?
Thank you, Tony, for that introduction. And I'm very happy and honored to share some trends that I am seeing as we go into 2025. Out of my 23 years in the mortgage, real estate, financial services, half of that has been in the recruiting space. And I don't even like to call it recruiting. It's relationshiping. Our industry is very relationship based. And that is where I want to start, is relationships. You will see that the originator, the loan officer, is really going to be impactful with their relationships, whether it's the buyer, the consumer, whether it's their referral partner, or who they directly will report to. You're going to see that you are going to need to establish a relationship, an authentic relationship with this person. I always like to say that recruiting is like dating. Once you get them to be your boyfriend or girlfriend, you have to continue to court them. So once you get that person that you're after over the finish line, you're still going to have to maintain a relationship, work, put some effort, and pour into them. So relationships is really going to be the core of your recruiting plan. We got to include marketing. Yes, marketing, video, social media strategy has to be included into your recruiting plan. It takes the brain 13 times to see someone before they say, hey, I know that person. Even virtually, even on social media. And the brain doesn't recognize the difference between virtual or in person. And so with that, you have to have a presence. People need to see you. They need to see where you're at, who you with, and what are you promoting, what you represent, what you like or don't like. People, again, going back to relationship, they want to feel like they know you. And again, video, social media, marketing has to be included in your recruiting strategy. You can no longer go through the years like we did in the past without having marketing social media presence. Also, when you are recruiting someone, the first thing they do is they Google you. Yes, they Google you. No longer are the times where business cards or websites are a thing. I mean, it's great to still have them, but people will Google you first. So make sure you have some online presence, some marketing, and some social media. And then also the consumer is changing, and the loan officer or loan originator knows that. The average home buyer now is not your typical corporate America W-2 employee. Depending where you live in the country, you have a lot of home buyers, potential home buyers that have multiple jobs, multiple stream incomes, revenue incomes. And so you are needing products and underwriting teams or operations to cater to that consumer. You have people that are now entrepreneurs. You have people that have 2, 3 jobs, and it doesn't mean that they can't afford a home. It's just, the way they make their living and their income is just non-traditional. So the originator that caters to that demographic is going to need some products and some underwriting operations and processes in place in order to cater to their buyer. So with that, those are some trends I am seeing for 2025 as you recruit and you grow your team and grow your organization. And I wish you all the best. And again, thank you, Tony, for including me. I'm very honored to be a part of Progress in Lending. Bye.
Last, but certainly not least in any way, longtime friend and industry expert, Michael Hammond, president at NexLevel Advisors. Michael, you'll be our last speaker on the panel today. What do you think is going to happen in mortgage lending in 2025?
Hey, Tony, thank you for that wonderful introduction. Couldn't be more excited. It's an honor to be part of Progress in Lending and share with you some trends and some things that I think we will expect in 2025. First and foremost, we all know rates are going to continue to be top of mind for people. I think sometimes, though, we focus too much just on rates, and we need to understand that if the trend continues and rates continue to decline, first of all, we have to understand that they're not going to go back to where they were 2, 3, 4 years ago. We're not going to have rates in the 2s and the 3s percentile. Most experts are predicting somewhere between 5.5 to 6.5. It's going to fall somewhere in there. But as rates decline, we have 2 other main issues and factors that we need to consider. The first is inventory. If there continues to be a major inventory shortage, that as rates go down and more people enter the market, and that's great news for the mortgage industry. If inventory is very low, then all that's going to do is drive up housing prices, and it's still going to challenge some people to get into affordable housing. So we have to really look at multiple factors to see what's going to happen. But I would say that there is some cautious optimism to what 2025 has in store as it relates to rates and inventory and some increasing volumes. From a marketing perspective, I think video and personal branding is going to continue to grow and skyrocket. I think when we start looking at how do people get their story told, how do they do it in a passionate way, how do they do it in a personal way, and I think with a lot of the new technology out there, We're looking at hyper-personalization, the use of videos, and really being able to tell a compelling story that resonates with people. And it's not just about rates. It's not just about that you offer mortgage products, but it's the ability to personalize and humanize your brand to really gain more traction. I think one of the other things that we've seen over the last year or two, as the market was tightened up and was getting tougher to close loans, we saw the skill level of certain loan officers continue to increase. And I'll call it the next gen loan officer. And it's leaning into video. It's understanding personal branding. It's understanding how to create compelling content. And it's really transitioning from a person who's just trying to interact and do a transaction, right? We've been way too transaction focused in the mortgage industry. We need to really look at how do we build and foster and grow more relationships. And the loan officers who can leverage technology, leverage social media, video, and a lot of the new AI tools, but can do that in a very personal and humanized way, are going to continue to gain more and more market share. And then lastly, I just hinted upon it right now, I think from a technology perspective, AI is not going away. And for all of those that are in fear of AI won't take your job. Someone who knows how to use it will. And I think what people have to understand when it relates to AI and a new technology, they've heard all kinds of promises with other technology. The best analogy I can give is when I got in the industry over almost 30 years ago now, only executives at the company I was working at had access to the internet. You may say, oh, Michael, come on, that's not true. It was true. Bandwidth was very expensive, but there was a lot of fear. What? Oh, people are just going to screw around on the internet all day. Oh, they're going to put data out there that they shouldn't. What are we going to do about privacy? Those are the same concerns I'm hearing about AI. And so first of all, we have to understand that we have to lean in and do AI correctly. And I think you're going to see more of that in 2025. But we have to realize that AI has the potential to impact every role within your company, just like the internet did. Whether you're in accounting or whether you're a loan officer, whether you're an executive at the company and a CEO, or whether you are a loan officer assistant, it can impact every one of those roles, just like the internet did. AI has the potential to impact all of those roles. And I think the other thing that's going to be critical as we talk about AI is not just all the cool technology. We've got to make sure that AI doesn't become a buzzword and it actually has a return on investment. So we have to understand, what does AI really mean, and how is machine learning a part of AI, and what is generative AI, and what type of models can we leverage? So I think education in AI is going to be critical. And then the last component is we have to make sure that there's guardrails. We have to do it in an ethical way. We have to make sure that some of the past lending biases don't morph their way into these new AI lending models. Looking forward to 2025 and everything that it has in store for our industry. Back to you, Tony.
What interesting thoughts. And with that, day 3 of Engage comes to a close. I want to thank our sponsors, I want to thank our speakers, and I want to thank all of you for watching. Join me tomorrow for the final day of Engage 2024. Until then, so long, everybody.